I've been making videos by myself for over 10 years now, and in that time I've done every job there is to be had on a video shoot. I've been responsible for writing, editing, and of course camera work, to name a few. All of these jobs are important in their own right, and in most cases if one job is done poorly, it can cause the other jobs to look subpar as well. Camera work is probably my least favorite part of the entire process. It's very difficult to get dynamic shots of yourself when you yourself are also in the shot. That is why I purchased this motorized electric slider dolly from Newer. Let me give you my thoughts. This review is entirely my opinion. I'm not being paid to do it, nor am I endorsed by any of the companies that I talk about in this video. If you would like to purchase the product for yourself, then I provide an affiliate link in the description. Purchasing through that link does benefit me. However, I recommend only buying this product if you yourself think that it will be worth it. And to help you make that decision, let's get going with this review. If you'd like to skip forward to any point of the process, I provided timestamps on the screen and in the first comment of this video. So first up, let's talk about the positives. The first positive is that this little dolly is extremely portable. Technically speaking, I can put it in my pocket and pull it out whenever I need to use it. I usually have a bag with me, but it's nice to know that I can put it in my pocket if the occasion arises for it. I like that I can bring it wherever I need to be. It's small, it's discreet, and it's also pretty quiet. I don't like drawing attention to what I'm doing, especially when I'm filming. And when I'm filming these videos, I'm mostly doing so on my own. So being able to pack it away, hop on the train, and go film some stuff in a low profile is a huge plus for me. The next positive is, this does exactly what I want it to do. It gets video with me in the video, and it looks pretty great. Of course, it is not the same as having a camera person there with you, but it is better than having no camera person at all. I can get an interesting shot while I'm in it, and I don't have to use some complicated series of levers and pulleys or hope that the wind is blowing a certain way that day. I just put it on the track, hit record, and I press go. I definitely recommend trying out a bunch of different kinds of shots and configurations when using the dolly. I found that experimenting while not intending to use every single shot that I recorded paid off when it came time to edit the video. And the last thing that I'll say is that the battery lasts plenty of time. Considering this isn't like a drone where you have to fly it to a point and then start recording, you're only using this dolly in short little bursts, and the battery lasts enough time to do whatever you need. It's rated to up to 6 hours of use, and I was able to use it for a consistent period of 30 to 40 minutes to get one shot while I was filming my last video. I didn't notice any slowdowns or any problems with the juice in the dolly. So that's what we have on the positive side, but what about on the negative sides? Now, the first negative is that the dolly can produce a shaky image. And it was particularly noticeable when I was using my iPhone attached directly to the dolly. This is pretty disheartening, as one of the reasons that I got the dolly is because it's so small and compact. Yes, it slides, it does what it was designed to do, but I'd rather not have shaky footage to deal with after that. When I'm using a product, I'd like for it to be intuitive and for me to have as little thought as possible when I'm operating it. I don't want to have to look for a completely frictionless surface that probably doesn't exist in the first place. In the reviews, I saw that the reason that the camera is so shaky is because there's a seam on the edge of the wheels that you have to sand down, but there's some risk involved with that sanding. What if I sand too much? And I shouldn't have to sand down a product anyways. The next negative is that it is very difficult to make the dolly go left and right in a straight line. This is so frustrating because this is one of the reasons that I bought the dolly in the first place. There are these little notches on the dolly that make it possible to move the camera in a variety of directions, including left and right. But unfortunately, even after a bunch of tweaking, it still will not go in a straight line. It's cool that it can spin on its own axis and you can set it up to spin around other objects, but I'd also really like it if it just went straight back and forth. The last negative that I have involves using the Dolly in tandem with a different product that I purchased. This product is a set of slider rails that is also from Neewer, and it's supposed to work with the Dolly with minimal tweaking. However, it fails to stay on the track even after making many small adjustments. The rails are super helpful, especially when there isn't a flat surface available for the Dolly, but I want it to do the thing that it's designed to do. Hopefully you're sensing a theme here. So I've talked about the positives, I've talked about the negatives, and now I'd like to offer some solutions to those negatives as well as some enhancements for the positives. First, let's solve the steadiness problem. I would suggest getting as close to the 3 kilogram or 6.6 pound weight limit as possible. It's not as much of an issue with a small DSLR, but with something as small as a phone, you could add an extra tripod head on top of the assembly to give you flexibility with your shots, but also some much needed mass. Next, I would recommend using slider rails. I talked about them briefly, but it turns the automatic Dolly into a pretty attractive package. I don't have to worry about finding a smooth surface, and it also gives me extra room in places where I might not find some. I provided the link to the slider I purchased below, but you can check out other linked sliders if that suits you as well. So this last tip is sort of a combination of the previous two. This solves 2 of the 3 problems that I mentioned. Use the Dolly to push the camera on the slider. That's it. The assembly that I use is pretty simple. I attach a tripod head to the electric Dolly and then put a phone tripod mount on it to push the camera on the other piece of the assembly. This extra weight made it much easier for the Dolly to stay on the tracks, and because the camera isn't actually on the Dolly itself, it's just pushing it, it was able to work pretty well. And it was in this configuration that my initial dilemma is quelled best. It still isn't the same as having a camera person operate the slider, but it's about as close as you're gonna get. So, should you buy this slider Dolly? Well, the short answer is yes, I think it is worth the money. If you're looking to be frugal but you still want to up your production quality, then I suggest going with this Dolly. It gets the job done, and with a few small optimization techniques, it's actually pretty great. However, if you're making videos for clients or you need some more complication, like maybe an automatic tilting and panning tripod head sounds dope, I would recommend spending the cash for a more professional slider. But I also encourage you to make up your own mind on the matter. I have provided links to everything that I talked about in this video in the description. Do you have a slider or something that helps you get dynamic shots with you in them? I'm always looking for new techniques, so let me know what you use to enhance your video quality in the comments down below. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.